Adolescents, tweens, middle schoolers, youth, it doesn't really matter what you call them. What matters is how you lead them. The years between ages 10 and 12 can be rather challenging to minister to, but nowadays I would beg to say it's much harder to be a middle schooler. The typical life of a 6th through 8th grader doesn't look quite the way it did when you were at that age. In fact, because of age compression, middle schoolers are forced to grow up faster than we may want them to. It is now estimated that what high school students were experiencing 5 years ago is what middle school students are now experiencing, socially, physically, mentally, and oftentimes emotionally. This generation at first glance appears a bit awkward, hard to approach, and socially all over the place. The youth you are serving are facing difficult situations that most parents and adults don't even realize. They may have to deal with so many things like bullying, questions about sexuality, addictions, peer pressure, and all the things that the media is throwing at them at younger and younger ages. Not to mention the ever-growing pressures from social media platforms. Many of us, even as adults, have never faced some of these issues now, not to mention when we were 13. In spite of all of this generation is able to understand and process the information we give them in incredible ways. Just as they are sadly able to handle so many negative things in their lives, they're also able to understand and handle so many positive things in their lives, in particular, their faith. We may think that we still have to walk with baby steps for middle school ministry, and while that's sometimes the case, we should not be afraid to challenge them and take them deeper. This is a pivotal time in most of their lives, and we need to be there to answer their tough questions with love, faith, truth, and prayer. You'll be surprised, as most of us usually are, by the amazing things youth say and understand. So now you may be wondering, how are we to answer not only the great need for helping youth navigate the tough situation in their lives, but also how are we to answer their need for Christ? Well, the answer is simple and one we are happy to provide. You can address all these issues and lead your middle schoolers closer to Christ by simply implementing an EDGE program. We understand that middle school youth are going through a lot, but you may be wondering, why do they need EDGE? The answer is that for many of them, this is one place that they feel safe. Safe to share their faith, safe to be themselves, safe to ask questions of their faith or their lives, safe in a loving community, and safe to seek God. It is also a place that parents feel safe to bring their youth. You have heard it said before that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, now more than ever this is true, and EDGE provides this village of parents, youth, core members, youth ministers, and the wider church community. It is a place where the youth will make lifelong friends that will bring their families together and provide for the parents moral support that is necessary when it comes to raising kids in this age group. So now that we have talked a little bit about why EDGE is so important to not only the youth in your parish, but also their families, let's get a little bit more into what the program actually looks like. As we start into this, I want you to first imagine your 6th, 7th, or 8th graders. Now think about where they could be come their high school graduation if you are able to bring them into a personal encounter and relationship with Christ now when they're in middle school. Why wait until high school once all those hard questions and decisions have already bombarded them to get the youth of your parish involved in their faith? Now more than ever, middle school has become the time that we must start paying attention to, and the time for us to begin to help them to form their faith and good friends. If you start with the youth at this age, who knows where their lives will go? I myself am a product of an EDGE program. That was where I found my faith, and it was the beginning of my journey to becoming Catholic. So how does the EDGE program actually work? EDGE utilizes intentional, systematic catechesis. We don't simply pick topics and choose them out of a hat. We structure our curriculum guides so that the full deposit of faith is covered over 6 semesters. This gives our middle school youth a strong foundation to build on and allows them, as they grow and face various life issues, to see the world through the eyes of their Catholic faith. All EDGE nights are presented in fun and relevant ways that take the truths of the church and present them in a fashion that the youth will be able to understand and to apply to their daily lives. EDGE nights steer away from traditional classroom settings and are done in a large group setting. This allows the youth to learn the catechetical lessons together through creative and impactful teachings, hands-on games and activities, and it gives them the ability to build up new friendships. Edge also utilizes, within these larger group settings, a time for small group discussions and activities. This allows a youth time to ask questions and work through the teachings with fewer people, and gives them an opportunity to discuss topics on a more personal level. Small groups are also a great time for youth to get to know each other and for their core members to continue to mentor to them in their faith. This is only a brief overview of what Edge is, and Life Team provides much more in-depth training as to how to actually run an Edge night. Speaking of providing further training, the support that Life Team provides for Edge youth ministers and core members is unbelievable. The curriculum guides we provide are easy to use, interactive, and practically ready to go right out of the box. We also provide countless materials along with our curriculum guides to help youth ministers understand and minister to their youth better, to help youth ministers and core go deeper in their own faith, and we also have tons of resources for your middle school youth themselves. We have an amazing staff available to answer your questions and to help you plan your semesters and annual calendars, or to simply pray with you. Our website at CatholicYouthMinistry.com is a go-to site that allows you and your core to download the upcoming Edge nights, to stream videos, to read the latest blogs, register for events and conferences, attend online core and youth ministry training, and it also connects you with the wider Catholic Youth Ministry community. Our training conferences and conventions provide more than just a how-to guide on ministering to middle school youth and implementing Edge. They provide a time of retreat and spiritual enrichment that every ministry in the church needs. Life Team also provides many opportunities for your middle school youth outside of running your specific Edge programs. During the summer, there are amazing week-long summer camp experiences for middle schoolers that will take your ministry to the next level. When you start Edge at your parish, you are a part of the Life Team family, and this family is praying for you, and we want to serve you. No question, no prayer request, no conversation is too big or too small. We want to support you the way that you support your middle schoolers and their families. We want to help lead you closer to Christ as you lead your youth closer to Christ. You are in our prayers, and we look forward to serving you and your parish community.